Hello. Guys, happy morning. Okay. See, actually, ಇವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಮೂರು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಮಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗಾಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ಗಿಫ್ಟೆಡ್. ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಸಾಹುಕಾರ, ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಬಡವ, ನಾನು ಕುರುಡ, ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇರ್ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಮಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಟೈಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವರು ದೇ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್, ಅನ್ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್. ಒಂದು ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಟೈಮ್ ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇನ್ 3 months ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. ಆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಏತಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ದಟ್, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ then we will go to what is called as ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬರೋರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆದವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆದವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಚಾಯ್ ವಾಲ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರು ಅವನಿಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಮಯ 24 hours. ಒಬ್ಬ ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರು ಆಕೆಗೂ ಸಹ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಮಯ 24 hours. ಒಬ್ಬ ಫಿಶರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸನ್, ಅವನು ಗ್ರೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಗ್ರೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಿಸೈಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಸಮಯ ಇರೋದು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಡೇ 24 hours ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಈ 24 hours ನ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಪೆರಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ಮೀ? ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎ ಚಾಯ್ವಾಲಾ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ 24 hours? How can a tribal woman become the president by using the same 24 hours? And how can this fisherman's son use the same 24 hours and do miracles? Now, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆನೂ ಇರೋದು ಸೇಮು. ಇನ್ನೇನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ 24 hours ಏನ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕೈಲಿದೆ, ಅದೇ 24 hours ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದೀಸ್ 3 ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಯಾವುದು? ಟೈಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಎರಡನೇದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಮೂರನೇದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಟೈಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಎರಡನೇದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಮೂರನೇದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್. ನಾನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದೇ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗಿಂತ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ %% ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋ ಉದಾಹರಣೆನೂ ಇದೆ. There is an example from the same college in the past 1 or 2 years. There were students who got 100. That means 100% in physics. There were few students who got in maths also 100%. Few of them have got in biology also 100%. Few of them have touched the 99 in language also. So it is always known that it is possible. That means it is possible. There is a beautiful saying in English, where there is a will, there is a way. Can all of you repeat? Where there is a will, there is a way. Mattomme, where there is a will, there is a way. Innomme, where there is a will, there is a way. Let us rephrase it. There is always a way. Do you have the will? ಇದೇ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಂದ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 100% ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದೇ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು, ಅವರಲ್ಲೇನೆ ತರಬೇತಿ ಪಡೆದಂತ ಆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು 100% ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಯು ಟು ಅಚೀವ್ ದಟ್? ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಎ ವೇ. ಡು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ವಿಲ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಂತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಲ್ಲೂ ಡು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್? I want to score 100%. Do you have that will? I want to score 100 in physics. I want to score 100 in maths. I want to score 100 in biology. I want to score 100 in chemistry. I want to score 100 in accounts. I want to score 100 in business studies. I want to score 100 in statistics. I also want to score 100% in languages. It is possible in the same college. There is a past where people have scored 100%. Now you are having an opportunity. Do you have that will that you also want to score 100%? Every student cannot score 100%. Every chaiwala cannot become a prime minister. Every tribal woman cannot become a president, and every fisherman's son cannot become a scientist, nor even he can become an educated person. Forget about being a scientist. Then who are those people who will make up to that target? That is my goal. And that goal can be used when you know how to utilize your time effectively. ನಾವು ಸಮಯನ ಯಾವ ತರ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ತರ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಏನೇನ್ ನಿರ್ಧಾರಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೋರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸಸ್ ಯು ಮೇಕ್ is going to define where your destination is going to be. So the choice is in your hand. Based on the choice, destination will be yours. But if you make a wrong choice, destination will be different. I want to get up every day early in the morning at 4 o'clock. I know early morning is called as the most sacred time. It is called as Brahma Muhurta time. During that time, if I am going to study, I can get maximum marks. When you know that, how many of you dare to give up the sleep and get up early in the morning at 4 o'clock? No. None of us want to get up early in the morning at 4 o'clock, but the choice, not making this choice, I still want 10% marks in the exam, that's not going to happen. The choice will decide what destination you will reach. If you want the 10% destination, then make the right kind of choices. If you cannot make the right kind of choices, then definitely a chaiwala will live as a chaiwala and die as a chaiwala. A tribal woman will live in the deep forest as a tribal woman and she will die as a tribal woman. And this fisherman's son may maximum become one more fisherman. He cannot become a missile man of India. Let me tell you, each and every one of you sitting in this hall, you have a capability of doing miraculous things in your life. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಮಿರಾಕಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯೋಗ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. But are you ready to make the right choices? God cannot make choice for you. You should get up, you should study. If you want good marks in exam, you should get up, you should study. If you want to score 10% in any subject, when you don't make the choice of getting up, even He can't help. There is a beautiful saying that in God's book there is nothing called as denial. ದೇವರ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡೋಲ್ಲ ಸಿಗೋಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಪದನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. But delay will be there. ತುಂಬಾ ಡಿಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. With all that delay, if I am able to catch up and then try to work on myself, definitely the target is going to be yours. The next 3 months or the next 4 months until you reach the exam, this you should consider as the most sacred time of your life. Always remember, in this 24-hour cycle, as we call early in the morning before the sun rises and after the sun rises, we call it as Brahmi Muhurta. That means the most sacred time of this 24 hours, where with little efforts you can get maximum benefit. When you know that with little efforts you can get maximum benefit, why don't you get up day in, day out, every day and put your efforts to see to it that you reach that target. So that choice you will have to make. I can give you examples. I can tell there used to be a man who did not take off even on Sundays while he was a chief minister of Gujarat for more than 3 terms, and the same man when he became a prime minister of India, he did not take even 1 day off even on Sundays, and that man is actually doing his 2nd term as a prime minister. Till today he has never taken a day off, knowing that he can also get cold, he can also get cough, he can also have fever, he can also have stomach upset, he can also have health upset. But if you start giving importance to all that, then what happens? You will start taking breaks, you will start taking leaves. But if this man says, come what may, I have decided even if I have a fever, I will not miss my classes. Even if I have a cold, I will not miss my classes. Even if I have both put together, I will not miss my studies. Even in the study leave when nobody is watching me. At home when nobody is watching me, my mom is out, my father is out, I am only person sitting there and it is my study leave. What you do in that study leave is your real personality. That can decide where you will go. Only studying when the teacher is observing, only studying when there is a test announced, only studying when there is an exam announced. If this way you are going to prepare, then you are living a mediocre life. People cannot become from a chaiwala to a prime minister, from the tribal woman to that president, from this from this fisherman's son to a great scientist, if they are going to live a mediocre life. Then what is the life they will have to live? They will have to live a life out of conviction. A life out of conviction which says everything else is next, studies comes first. Everything else next. There is a marriage of my uncle. If I don't go, my uncle will not stop marrying his so-called spouse. I know it, so let me not go. After the exam, I will still go and actually congratulate them and come and take an excuse because I had an exam. He will also like you. He will remember this choice of you was what you have taken up. And he can take it as an example. I still remember there is my niece or my niece. He or she did not attain my marriage because they felt studying for exam is most important, and that niece is he and that niece of mine is she. That should be the attire. When you decide I want to make big in life, nobody can stop you from making it big in life. We always say, Dushman kahan hai? Can you repeat it loudly? Dushman kahan hai? 3 times louder. Dushman kahan hai? Once again. Dushman kahan hai? Once again. Dushman kahan hai? Answer. Dushman bagal mein hai. All of us. Dushman bagal mein hai. Once again. Dushman bagal mein. Once again. Dushman bagal mein. No. Dushman bagal mein nahi hai. Dushman andar hai. If you don't get up early in the morning at 4 o'clock, you can't hold your mother responsible or your brother responsible or your friend responsible. If a chaiwala has become a prime minister, it was not because of the bagalwala, it is because of himself. His brothers did not make it big, but Narendra Modi made it big because it was his choice. Dushman kahin aur nahi hai, dushman andar hai. You should not become an enemy of yourself. You should become a friend of yourself who will push you to actually wake up, come what may. That is what life is all about. Are you taking the right choices when a choice is thrown at you, and every time when you make the right choices, the destination will change. Because the choice will decide the destination. Destination will not come as it is. Destination comes because you make lot of right choices. A chaiwala becomes the prime minister because every time an opportunity and a choice was given, he took up a choice not which was convenience. He took up a choice out of conviction. And he did not make a choice expecting pleasure. He always took a choice which would give him pain. This lady who lived in the forest, she could have lived in the forest and she could have died in the forest, but she tries to come out of her comfort zone. She wanted to come out, she wanted to make it big, and every time a choice was given, she took a choice of not a pleasure, she took a choice of painful. Always remember, when a choice is given, ask yourself, ಈ choice ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ pleasure experience ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ, ಈ choice ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ pain experience ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? You will always come across. Right now, if I say you will have to write whatever I have told 5 times, ask yourself, writing it 5 times, is it pleasurable or pain? Immediately when your mind says it is pain, then do it. Why? Because every painful activity you do now, in future it will give you permanent pleasure. And every pleasurable activity that you do now, in future it is going to give you a permanent pain. Getting up early in the morning at 4 o'clock, yes, it is painful. Why? You want to sleep. But if I am ready to take the choice of making that painful choice, I will have a permanent pleasure. My second PUC result is going to be enjoyed for me as long as I live. I will tell my sisters, I'll tell my brothers, I'll tell my cousins, I'll tell my friend, I'll tell my spouse, I'll tell my kids, I'll tell my grandkids, look, this was my score in second PUC. You will have a permanent pleasure that you will enjoy for your lifetime if you are ready to take up that pain of getting up early in the morning. So please repeat with me, initial pleasure gives me permanent pain. Initial pain gives me permanent pleasure. So, I will always take a painful choice. I will give you a solution for this also. Anything which is painful now, When it is done consistently for over a period of 9 times or 21 times or 45 days, slowly the same painful thing becomes a pleasurable thing. I'll give you an example. First day getting up early in the morning at 4 o'clock may be difficult. Second day getting up at 4 o'clock may be difficult. Third day getting up at 4 o'clock may be difficult. The pain is more and more and more. But slowly after a week, after 10 days, after 15 days, when you know you have studied so much of portions and you are ready to write the exam any day the teacher announces a test or an exam, slowly the same painful experience of getting up early in the morning becomes pleasurable, and not getting up early in the morning will make you feel painful. That transformation is possible if you make an attempt to consistently give pain to you. Slowly the same pain becomes permanent pleasurable experience, because you know you are going to face the exam and you are going to do good in the exam. So knowing that, let us actually follow that without break. Now after putting all this, I know you have an exam to face. You have limited 24 hours in a day, and in that limited 24 hours in a day, how can I maximize my time utilization towards my exam? That is what we are going to see today. So let us understand what is time. See, whenever we talk about a time, most of the time you sitting there or you sitting there, you are actually thinking of all this. I am a student, definitely I am a student. I don't have time for my friends, I don't have time for a mother, she won't have time for son and daughter, and I don't have time, So everybody is going through this. As a student, what do you feel? If God can give me 3 or 4 hours extra in a day, definitely I will score 100 out of 100, or maybe 80 plus, who is scoring 70 now. Why do you say that? Because you feel there is a constraint of time. ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So let us understand how should we manage time, because within the same time a chaiwala could become a great man, a tribal woman could become a great woman, and a fisherman's son could become something which was unimaginable. Knowing all this, how am I going to maximize my time utilization in that particular time? That is what we are going to see. Most of our wordings will be the same whenever you are now or in future, when you get into graduation, when you start working. All the time this is what is running in your mind. I am very busy. The second job is a crisis. I don't feel I have achieved anything. I don't have control of my life. Things are piling up one after the other. I wish I have more than 24 hours per day. My entire system is overloaded. There is no time even to breathe. Some of you make this excuse. During examination time, I really don't have time to even breathe. I feel I have too little time given by God. I feel I am overloaded with works. Yes, why do you actually feel all this? Let us understand. Today's objective of time management is to help you understand importance of time, to help you manage your time smartly. And we also ask you to introspect. Where are you spending maximum of your time? Are you spending in useful or useless works? That is what you will have to identify. We will allow you to introspect your time investment. We will also help you to improve your time management. Thereby, we will try to enhance, and we will make you feel, yes, I have abundance time now. I can always manage myself. That is the whole idea. Now, let us understand what is the value of time. For that, let me play this beautiful video. I am time.
Hello, I am time. I am precious. I am priceless, but I am free. I know no partiality. I am the same to the poor and the rich. I am the same to the young and the old. Some spend me, some use me. Use me and see. I will help you reach your goals, dreams, and ambition. Use me and see. I'll make you healthy and wealthy. I can make you progress and prosper. You can use me only once. You can't recycle me. I fly, never to return. Don't use me next to next and say next time. Because next time, you may miss me and see my footprints called too late. Give me as a gift to someone. Because I can heal. I can encourage. I can inspire. I can bring joy and happiness. I teach you life lessons so that you may know what really matters. I am yours. It's your time. Don't waste me. Take good care of me today, and I will take good care of you tomorrow. Before I leave, I must say, I am given to you by God. Please give back some time to Him, to pray, to say thank you, and to ask Him to give you wisdom to use me properly. Hello, I am time. I am precious. I am priceless. But I am free. Hello, good morning. This is Navjeevan. Use your time properly.
See, very important to understand value of time. I'll be explaining you this, to go through this. So sometimes time just runs away and you will not know half an hour would have passed. But sometimes it goes very, very slow. We will understand. To realize the value of 1 year, ask an academic student who has failed to realize the value of 1 year. Ask the student who just failed his academic year because he will have to waste 1 full year. Ask a student who just failed for final exam. To realize the value of 1 month, we have seen 1 year, we are coming to 1 month. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who is giving rise to a premature baby. 9 months ke uta on the if they need to operate and pick her up by 6 or 7 months, who just gave birth to a premature baby. She would be praying for God, let that 9 months get over. To realize the value of 1 week. Ask that grandmother. Ask the person who was stuck, who survived a natural disaster, who was very deep inside, and somebody rescues him after 1 week. How does 1 week go on there? To realize the value of 1 day. To realize the value of 1 day. Ask a grandmother who is suffering from cancer and she doesn't know when she is going to die. Ask the grandmother who is dying of cancer. She doesn't know when she is going to die. To realize the value of 1 hour. Ask a loved ones who are waiting to hear after a disaster whether their loved one is safe. They don't get called for 1 hour, 2 hours, and an army man drops in, or a phone call comes and says, your son is safe. To realize the value of 1 minute, ask a person who has missed a bus. Ask a person who has missed a train. As a person who just missed their bus. value of 1 second. Ask a person who just met with an accident, but he was not in an accident. You walked into a bus, somebody will drive you, and you will feel wow. You wouldn't know, you would have gone and you would have toppled, and something bad would have happened. Ask the person who avoided an accident. On a daily basis, you will realize you are given again one more janma to live. To realize the value of 1 microsecond, ask the sportswoman who lost a gold medal or a silver medal or even a bronze medal. To realize the value of 1 millisecond. Ask the person who has won silver instead of gold. Between gold, silver and bronze, do you think there will be hours of difference? Few milliseconds of difference will be there. Between too early and too late, there is never more than a moment. Sometimes you say a year, a month, a week, an hour, a second, a microsecond. So what is the value of your time? How do you value your time is what today's class is all about. You might delay most of the time, but time won't wait for anybody. Whatever is past is past. You came, I took 10-15 minutes which is already over. I cannot get back the 10-15 minutes. So decide the right way of using your movement and valuing your time. Those who value their time, they are the people who are mostly respected by everybody. So our entire idea was to tell you how important time is. After we have explained about time, again a recap. To realize the value of 1 year, what did we say? Ask the student who just failed in the final exam. I'll ask the question, you will have to read the answer. To realize the value of 1 year, you just failed the final exam. To realize the value of 1 month, ask the mother who just gave birth to a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the person who actually survived a natural disaster. To realize the value of 1 day, ask the grandmother who is dying of cancer. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask the lovers who are waiting to meet. A mother waiting to meet her son who had gone for a war, or a parents waiting for son and daughter who was involved in a natural disaster. Just for one phone call they would wait, and in that 1 hour every minute would be like spending 1 week, because they are eagerly waiting. Sometimes time just goes away, you will not know. Sometimes every minute will look like a year for you, or sometimes every minute will look like a day for you, every minute will look like an hour for you. It depends on what you are expecting out of it. So the last, to realize the value of 1 minute, ask the person who just missed their bus. To realize the value of 1 second, ask the person who just avoided an accident. To realize the value of millisecond, ask the person who has won the silver medal in the Olympics. So what is the value of your time? The more you respect the time that is given to you, the more time will start respecting and working for you. I'll give you a simple example. There are certain students, come what may, they always come on time to the class because they are disciplined to follow that. But in the same batch, there would be a student who comes at least 8 to 10 kilometers away who comes on time, and one more student who stays next door, he is not coming on time. So time is what you value it. The other person values time, he makes it a point to come much early so that he is not going to be late. But the other one, he takes time casually. If you take time casually, the casuality of the time will reflect on you by time itself. Time is like an energy. The more you respect and value it, the more it is going to do positive things to you. The more you disrespect and you start misvaluing it, and slowly that will also react in the same manner. I'll give you a lot of examples and we will explain. Now when I say time management, am I using a right in the definition? Can we actually manage time? What exactly is time management? When I look at the definition, it very clearly says time management is a straightforwardly defined as management of time in order to make the most of it. Well, now let me ask you, can you manage time? When you can increase or decrease time, when you can alter time, or when you can stop time, then I will say you can manage time. Krishna could do it. Krishna did it in Kurukshetra because if they should have waited for him to complete this so-called Bhagavad Gita preaching to Arjuna, they should have waited for one yuga, that means 10 years itself. One of the stories says, but the 10 year was created by Krishna. For everybody else it was just few seconds, and for Arjuna and Krishna it was more than 10 years. And after the first day of Kurukshetra, Arjuna goes up to one of his brother and says, Bhima, and he says, what? Bhimanna, what? How much time did I take to start the war? And he told, you took time, nothing. You and Krishna were talking and you started off. But only Arjuna knows, because he was in that time and he spent one yuga with Krishna. So sometime time can be altered if you can have that dignity of respecting the time. Otherwise it's not possible. We cannot. So when I say this this definition itself is wrong. Can you really manage time? You can't manage time. Time is as it is. It keeps running. Tomorrow you come, it is the next day. Day after tomorrow you come, again it is the next day. Today is the 10th, tomorrow will be 11th, day after tomorrow will be 12th. You cannot manage, you cannot reduce, or you cannot increase, or you cannot actually make time disappear also. Time is as it is, it cannot be changed. So time management is a mislabeled problem. What you really can manage is what you do in that time, how smartly you do some things in that particular time. So we say smart working can make a chaiwala a prime minister. Smart working can make this Draupadi Murmu a tribal woman a president, and smart working can make this fisherman the greatest scientist, the missile man of India. So what we are really going to see is, we are really going to see how to manage your physical actions in that particular time. How do I manage that physical actions? So what exactly is the hurdle of time? So we will come back to this because we will have to express about stress. We were talking about time management. We understood the value of time. We also understood time cannot be created, time cannot be destroyed. Only thing that can be done is we can manage our time. But with respect to stress, let me tell you what exactly is your examination stress in this particular way. When I say, first let us understand what exactly causes time mismanagement. What exactly causes time mismanagement? Nim college 7 dinanke shuru aito. Yes, there is no mismanage there. First test yavag announce madidro avagle aito. There is no mismanagement there. First term also, as it was announced, it happened. There was no mismatch there. Then where is the mismatch of time happening in your life? But every time the time is working and mismatching with you because of these three hurdles: starting trouble, procrastination, linked with the problem and stress. Let me explain a little bit in a better way. All of you, when you saw your 10th standard result, when you went and you saw your 10th standard result maybe 1 year before, what was running in your mind? The moment you saw the result, something deep inside looked at that result and it told, this is not my result. I could have studied better. If I would have really studied much better, I would have seen myself here. All of your mind would have told that. And immediately your mind is giving you a plan, because our mind has that positive mind who is an Arjuna, who always wants to do the best. Our mind also has a Duryodhana who always wants to do bad. And Krishna is a neutral person who just watches what the positive mind Arjuna is trying to do and what the negative mind Duryodhana is trying to do. The choice of whether you want Arjuna to take over is in your hand, whether you want Duryodhana to take over again is in your hand. When an alarm rings, there is a fight happening between Arjuna, the positive mind, and Duryodhana, the negative mind. Both of them are discussing. Arjuna says, it's 4 o'clock, let me get up. Exam is there 3 years down the line. And Malik sir was also told, and even Prakash sir was also told, studying early morning is going to gift me with abundance. So, as soon as the alarm rings, you are already waked up. That means wake up has already happened. You are alert. But are you ready to get out of the bed? Wake up has happened, get up has happened. No. Before wake up can become get up, Duryodhana will come. I'm not saying don't get up. Instead of getting it up now, you can get up after half an hour. So what you are doing, instead of waking up at 4 o'clock, you are pushing yourself to wake up at 4:30. Again, at 4:30 do you wake up? No. 4:30 again when you are about to wake up, and then do the next option, get up, because that is action. Wake up is your alert. Oh, it's 4:30. Your mother would have called, Malik, already not to worry, will you get up now? You have made up your mind. Okay, I will get up. Immediately Duryodhana will say, what's wrong? Anyway you will get up. Instead of 4:30, get up at 5 o'clock. Then I will actually tell my mom, instead of 4:30, I will definitely get up at 5 o'clock, wake me up at 5 o'clock. So what has happened? Again you have pushed. This is called as procrastination. First is the starting trouble. What is the starting trouble? When a time has come for you to do something which you had committed, nobody else had committed. Alarm was kept by you. You told your mother, wake me up at 4 o'clock. And as soon as at 4 o'clock when the alarm rings, or your mother wakes you up, or your father wakes you up, or your brother wakes you up, or your grandmother or grandfather wakes you up, you know that the right time has come. But when that time comes, are you ready to start? No. You get into one biggest hurdle, that is starting trouble. And this starting trouble, it will lead to procrastination. What you will say? I am not saying I am not going to get up. Instead of today, I will get up tomorrow. So what did you do? You procrastinated it to after half an hour. When you procrastinate with half an hour, when you do it once, again the same time will come. Will you start? No. You again will say, no, I will definitely get up at 5 o'clock. Again you procrastinate, fix up a new starting time. Again you procrastinate, fix up a new starting time. And finally you will get up at 6 only. Next day also, same, starting trouble, procrastination, and you say, this week it's not working, I will do like this. From next Monday, I will seriously get up. So you do a bigger procrastination. Time was small, half an hour. Now you say, I think from today it won't be possible. From tomorrow I will get up, you postpone it to tomorrow. When tomorrow also the same thing repeats, tomorrow when it consistently repeats, what you will say? Tomorrow is not working. From Monday, I will seriously get up and seriously stay. Monday will come. You will postpone it to one more Monday. Once you have done twice, Monday is not working. Next month first, I will seriously start studying. Next month first will come. Immediately you will say, I'll do like this. Anyway, Ayush Puja will come, Yugadi will come, Deepavali will come, Christmas will come, Jan 1st, New Year will come. So you look for places and time for you to postpone, and you get into this circle, you will start living with this problem. Your entire life you are living with this problem, and this problem leads to stress. What is stress? If you would have got up every day as per what you had committed to yourself, and if you would have studied whatever need to be studied, then you wouldn't have got into the stress at all. Stress is the gap between when you told you will be doing and ultimately when did you do. Again, I'll use one more example to explain the same. As I am looking at that particular result of my 10th standard, deep inside my heart something is saying, I can do far better than this. You will come back home also and you will tell mom, nanige 80% bandide, but I am sure I would have got 95% if I would have really worked hard. Mom also says, haudu neenu regular age bittu regular aagi innondu subjects so avatte neenu odididre you would have definitely got 95%. So all the best, from next year you will get 95%. So what do you say your mom, next year I full plan ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. I have planned everything. A perfect time planning I have done. What is that? Every day I'll get up at 4 o'clock, I will study. Every day when I come to college, I'll come for 5-10 minutes early, never I'll be late. And in the first class, whatever the teacher will do between the first and the second class, 8 time ide, otherly I will finish off my revision. And lunch break, I know it is 1 hour, I don't need 1 hour. I will finish off my lunch in just 10 minutes and the rest 40 minutes I will again utilize it to study whatever was done in first class, second class, third class, fourth class. And evening also the same thing. As soon as I come from college, I will not go anywhere else. First I will finish off all the homework, I will prepare the notes, and I will give up my exercising and even sports, because I know my second PUC is my turning point, first PUC is my turning point. I do not want to waste any time. I will continuously study until you give me coffee, and after that also I will continuously study until you call me for dinner, and even after dinner I will continuously study till 11 o'clock, and then I sleep. I get up early in the morning. Everything is planned. Now the first day of college comes. First day of college, early morning, 4 o'clock, getting up. There one thing in come. First day, why do you want to get up? Second day, you need to get up because first day, lot of things would be covered. For that studying, you can come in the first. For what reason you procrastinate or postpone does not matter. The moment you postpone, you get into living with that problem. So do not. The first time, whatever you had committed, you are going to do. If you procrastinate, you are actually not valuing your own time. You are not valuing your own word that I wanted to study. You are procrastinating. So what happened? Everything starts off. Then what you decide, okay, when I go to college, I will do first day, first class, whatever the teacher is going to do, I am going to seriously follow it. It so happens the first day that the teacher is going to give you a half an hour lesson, because she knows that it is the first day, let me not bore them taking the entire 1 hour. So you know you have half an hour left with you. How many minutes left with you? 30 minutes was left with you. With that 30 minutes, you should have started writing the notes. You pick up the pen and paper and you are about to start. When you are about to start, immediately Duryodhana will say, first day, first class only, why do you want to do? Do it in the next class. Now talk to friends. You start talking to friends. Second period, 45 minutes the teacher takes class. You still have 15 minutes. And when you are supposed to study there, again your mind says, why do I want to do it now? Duryodhana, he wants to. If few of you would have taken up the pen and paper, and if you would have started, your goal of 85% to reaching it 95 would have definitely become true. But you got into starting trouble, you got into procrastination. And again, what you told, definitely in the afternoon lunch break, I will study for 40 minutes. You postponed it. Every time you fix up a start time, procrastinate. When that time comes, again procrastinate. You are living with that problem. In the afternoon lunch break also, what you will say, today it is not working, from tomorrow I will definitely do, and you push it to tomorrow, and after few tomorrows you will push it to Monday, and after few Mondays you push it to next month first, after next month first you fix it up, push it to one important day which may come after 2 months or after 1.5 months. This is continuously happening, and what is the stress? Stress is nothing but the gap between when it should have been done and when you ultimately done. That means the day when your teacher completed the lesson, the same day if you would have come and if you would have prepared, you would have gone to the next level, you would have gone to the next level. There wouldn't have been stress at all. If the teacher announces, today is going to be a surprise test, those who have prepared on a daily basis, those who have read on a daily basis, will you feel the same stress? Not at all. Why? Because you know, I am already prepared. So this is happening with every one of you. That is what you will have to overcome. This is what I wanted to tell you about stress management. So how do I overcome the stress management? I should have a very beautiful plan, what we call, I should have a plan and I should work according to the plan. What is the remedy for this? I understood, sir. What is stress? All of you repeat. What is stress?
What is stress?
Stress is nothing but the gap between when it should have been done and ultimately when it was done. Most of the time, no, you need not repeat that. See, most of the time you may do it in some of the very serious matters also. Let me explain you with a beautiful example. I remember my aunt, her name is Sunita. She is a principal of a reputed college. I don't want to take that college name because I am addressing and I am recording. I will be uploading it in the Facebook also. She was a brilliant aunt, such an intelligent aunt I had never come across. Because she is my aunt, our daughter and me, we studied together engineering from the same college. Because she happened to be woman, means a female, she had to get married and she was engaged and the marriage was fixed and she got married. I am still a good friend of her, a good cousin of her. It so happened that during this engagement to marriage, my aunt, she had developed a small pimple in the breast. Small pimple, a simple pimple. What she thought, it is a simple pimple, but still I'll go to the hospital. But she kept on postponing and engagement happened immediately 1 week down the line. Then the marriage was also fixed and the marriage happened. She did go to the hospital and they gave, because they also identified it may be a simple problem. So they gave her some medicine, she applied that medicine and it was seeming to be okay, because when the medicine is applied, it immediately starts working and slowly the pimple started disappearing and she was normal. But the doctor always advised that even if it is normal, please come regularly and get it checked, because we don't know whether it might lead to a cancer in future, because cancer cells live in disguise most of the times, and when the right time comes, when it is stage 2 or stage 3, that is when it starts actually being visible, and at that moment it will be difficult for us to handle. Even chemo will not work in that particular case. She being a principal of a reputed college, she being the most educated lady, she being a best lecturer of that college, there was no way that she could go wrong in making this choice of going to the hospital on time. But she also got into what is called a starting trouble. It was 6 to 9 months after the marriage, she developed once again a small pimple. And at that moment, our daughter was in US and she was returning back because she was expecting a baby in another 15 to 20 days. Instead of going to the hospital, she postponed it. And she thought, let my daughter come back, afterwards I'll go to the hospital. The simple pimple became bigger and bigger. And then our daughter comes and the day is fixed. They take her to the hospital and a beautiful daughter and a granddaughter to my aunt is born. And she is so much involved with her granddaughter. Again, there is a small pain in her chest because of the pimple becoming bigger and bigger, larger in size. She had to go to the hospital at that moment. Again, she procrastinates because they had to do a 11-day function and they had to do what is called as a semi-naming ceremony. So she thought on the 30th day after the semi-naming ceremony, I will go to the hospital. And she again pushed herself. The pain was very severe. The wound had become too big, too large, and the pain was too severe for her to manage. She somehow consumed a few painkillers. She postponed it on the 30th day of naming ceremony, because of the sari that she was wearing, because of the kind of stress she was under, because she had taken care of actually organizing everything. You know, when a granddaughter's naming ceremony, how the grandmother would be involved, Amma, what you call them. Her involvement was so severe that in that moment, because of the stress, because of the pain, because of the painkiller what she had taken, she becomes very, very dizzy and she becomes unconscious and she falls sick. We rushed her to the hospital. She was unconscious, she did not do anything. Only when we rushed to an hospital, there a woman doctor comes, she examines and she calls all of us, and that woman doctor happens to be my aunt's close friend, because she got into engineering and my aunt was into non-engineering subject. She was in medicine and my aunt was in engineering. She came out and she shouted at all of us. She shouted at my uncle, "What kind of idiots are all of you? Do you know what has happened to your wife?" And her daughter was crying and she asked, "What kind of daughter are you? Do you know what has happened to your mom? She is having breast cancer. She is in stage 3. There was pin drop silence. None of us could react because we thought the most educated lady, why did she fall into this time mismanagement? And as soon as she got conscious, the doctor went there and she gave her left and right. And immediately my aunt stopped her because I was watching, and she told, I know what you mean to say is I will not be alive for the next 1 month. That is what you say? Or maybe for the next 15 days, that is what you say? I am ready for that. You are ready. In your absence, what will happen to your husband? What will happen to your daughter? What will happen to your granddaughter? She will miss you. You should have taken the precautions. Why didn't you do the things at the right time? Don't you value the time? Don't you value the signals that time is giving? A small pimple you should show. When it becomes bigger, still you don't go and show, you keep on procrastinating. Now you will suffer. We will stop the story there, and my aunt is no more. In life, sometimes a warning comes. You wanted to get up, you wanted to get up, you wanted to get up. First test comes. In the first test, you wanted to score 95, you got only 80, which you regularly used to get. Something is telling you deep, the doctor is telling, what is this? If you don't work hard, how will you gain 95? And then again, one more midterm comes, again the same. Instead of getting 95, you are still getting 80 only. And slowly what happens? You will get into a stress, and because of that stress, what happens? You will start giving up, and you will say, if I get 80 also, that is also a good marks. In my class, there are a lot of students who fail also. That way, if you think, I should not give you an example of a chaiwala becoming a prime minister. Then I'll give you an example, a chaiwala being a chaiwala man, chaiwala boy, chaiwala grandfather, and he will die as a chaiwala. I can't give you that example. दुश्मन कहाँ है? बगल में नहीं है, अंदर है. For my aunt, दुश्मन कहाँ था? बगल में नहीं था. She was an enemy of herself. She should have taken the precaution. So what is the remedy you can follow? There is a time for everything, and everything in its time. You should have a timetable of your own. The timetable should be written, and it should be printed, and it should be kept right in front of the place where you are going to study, and there should be a strict adherence to the timetable. I will get up at 4 o'clock, it should be fixed. Come what may, you should not miss. At 4 o'clock, you must get up. I will study between the periods, whatever happens between first class and the second class, I will study. Come what may, let the world go upside down, I will not. Like that, there is a time for everything, and everything in its time. When you start valuing, slowly you will see whatever the target you wanted, 95, it will become possible. Otherwise, a chaiwala will remain as a chaiwala and die as a chaiwala. Please repeat, there is a time for everything. And everything in its time. Next important thing is, there is a place for everything, everything in its place. So, time discipline is also important. If you say, this is the time I am going to study this subject first, this subject next, easy subjects I will study later on, difficult subjects I will start. So, you make a plan, and what time you go to bed, what time you get up, which subject you are going to study. Let there be a timetable. Like that, there is a time for everything, and everything in that time. And every time you are utilizing that time, ask yourself this question, is this time investment what I am making, is it helping me in the exam? Then invest. If this is not helping you in the exam, please stop. Every choice what you make will decide which destination you will go. So every time you have a choice to make. Hey guys, every time you have a choice to make, be very serious. Ask yourself this question, is this choice going to help me to clear this exam? This choice is going to help me to have this marks. If it is yes, then do it. If it is no, don't do it. That is the time discipline. Next is place discipline. All of you repeat, there is a place for everything.
There is a place for everything.
And everything in its place only.
And everything in its place only.
Because I am only talking about studies, let there be one place at home which you are going to decide, this is the place of studies. You cannot study in the kitchen, don't study in front of the TV, don't study in front of a noisy place, don't study in front of too many obstacles, and do not change the place of your studies. Keep one fixed place. It is like a vastu. There is a place for everything, everything in its place. Always sit there only and then study, because it is very important that you maintain that place. That place becomes an energy for you. So always keep that space and always study there only. So that way what happens, you have a place discipline, your energy will work. today I will sit here, tomorrow I will sit there, the day after tomorrow outside. No, please don't follow that. Let there be one place that should be fixed as a study place. I am not talking about puja place, other place. Now it is only studies. So fix up that place. Don't do anything else there. Do not sit on the bed and then study, because there is a more inclination towards sleeping, a laziness there. So always sit in a bright place where you are not disturbed and you are completely focused, and that has to be followed. That is called as place discipline. Next is right way and the wrong way discipline. All of you repeat. Right way and wrong way discipline. Please repeat. There is a right way for everything.
There is a right way for everything.
And everything in the right way only.
In the right way only.
See, when I talk about studies, all of you are spending most of your hours, studying. I agree. But are you studying smartly? What I mean by smartness, a chaiwala can become what he has become because of the smart utilization of the time. So, let us say, how are you going to face your exam? Whenever you are going to write an exam, it is going to be a desk, it is going to be a chair, and you will be given a pen, you will be given a paper, and because of what you write, how fast you write, how nice and neat you write, is going to decide what marks you are going to score. So, writing is very important. Are you practicing that writing? No. What is happening? 90% or 95% of the time, whenever you are studying, you say, I am seriously studying, and my studies is taking information, putting into the head. Every time I am studying, I am taking information, putting into the head. But in exam, what you do? You are not doing this. You are taking information from the head and putting it on the paper. So what should you practice more? You should practice more to write. Only when you practice more to write, that 10% in maths, 10% in science, 10% will actually work. Otherwise, it will not work. So every time when you study, if you are studying for 1 hour, the right and smart way of studying is divide that 1 hour into 3 parts. The first 20 minutes, the middle 20 minutes, and the last 20 minutes. Can you repeat? The first 20 minutes, the middle 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes. So there are 3 parts. The first 20 minutes, you are studying science, you are studying accounts, you are studying chemistry, you are studying physics, you are studying statistics, irrespective of whatever is the subject. The textbook is there. Take the information, put it into your memory for first 20 minutes. Afterwards, let the textbook be there. Write down few questions what you have studied. Whenever you are studying, keep reading, write down questions so that by looking at the question, I should get the answer whatever you are studying right now. First 20 minutes. Next 20 minutes, close the textbook, read that questions, try to recollect the answers. You may not get, open the book. Open the book, try to recollect, again try to do, again you are not getting, open the book, do the revision. Okay, next 20 minutes. Now the last 20 minutes, close the book, keep it into the shelf, which should not be, you are not going to touch it for the next 20 minutes. And next 20 minutes, the same questions, whatever you have framed, you write answers like you are sitting in an exam and writing for the 20 minutes. This is what you practice on an everyday basis. The first 1 hour is divided into 3 parts, and first 20 minutes you are going to take information, put it into your memory. The second 20 minutes, because of the questions what you have written while you were studying or reading that, try to answer it verbatim, auditory. It's not writing. But next, very important is in writing you will have to do that. This is what you do regularly. After all the portions are completed, prepare for a 2 hours or a 3 hours of writing consistently, because that is what you do in the exam. In exam you are not going to write for 10-15 minutes. So that study skills is very important for you. So there is one more, because I am talking about study skills also. Let me explain you one more such study skills which is very, very important. Whenever you are studying, ask yourself, what kind of study methodology works for you? Repeat this question. What kind of study methodology works for me? What works for me will not work for her. Whatever works for her will not work for you, because all of us are not duplicates. God doesn't create duplicates. All of us are unique. Maybe one of the student, if he reads once, he can understand, but another student has to read 10 times, only then he will understand, and the third student will have to write it 3 times, only then he understands, and there is one more student, he doesn't read, he doesn't write, he just observes whatever the teacher says, and then he grasps everything, and everything is in his memory. So these kind of students are also there. So there are 3 kinds of students, or 3 kinds of learning methodology which any individual will follow. The first one we call it as visual. What is visual? Visual is a person who just sees the formula, looks into the point and he understands. The teacher is explaining, he sees, he understands. He doesn't go home and read it loudly. He doesn't go and write. Directly in the exam he will write. But if he wants to score 100%, he will practice to write multiple times, fastly, neatly, accurately, cross-checking, everything is going to do. And then 100 out of 100 is for it. So ask yourself, are you visual? The second set of people are auditory people. Only by seeing they can't understand. They should listen to it multiple times. That's the reason some of them read loudly. Visual people won't like reading loudly, because if you read loudly, they get disturbed. They want silence. They will just look at the letters like this, open the page, look at the letters like this, and they grasp everything. Those are actually called as visual people. The second set is called as auditory. Auditory means they need to listen again and again, again and again. Only then it works. So when they listen to it again and again, again and again, it makes them learn. Such people should sit for group discussion. As a friends, you can read to each other, it works. And there is a last part of it whom we say kinesthetic. Who are these kinesthetic people? If you see, if you write, if you listen, it won't work. They will have to write. And all of you should follow writing, because it is the best methodology of learning perfectly. When you want perfection, learn writing it multiple times. Your teacher gives you assignment to write multiple times only because she knows by writing multiple times you will master that and you will memorize it and it will help you in the exam. So you should also do that. Some of them follow any 2, some of them will follow all 3. It is left to you. But those who want 100%, they will follow all 3. I'll again explain you. Those of you who are visual, your learning methodology should be, you see the books, look into the notes, watch the book, study silently, and you will avoid group studies. You should not get into group studies. But there are auditory people, you need to read louder, you need to listen to your teacher again and again, go to your teacher, ma'am, I did not understand, can you help me out again? They will help you multiple times. You take up group studies and it works for you. Kinesthetic people or people like me who will have to write, only then it works. Though laborious, can't help it, you have to write and practice. Here you avoid group studies and study without distraction. But I was talking about 100%. I told you in the past from the same college 100% has come. Right now in this year also few of you can get 100%. But are you ready? Do you have the will? Because there is always a way. Same college students have done it, you can also do it. For them, of course, you should know that those who make it up to the top bracket of academics, they follow all 3 learning methodologies. What they do? They read, they say, they write. All of you repeat. They read, they say, they write. You change it. I will read, I will say, I will write. All of you? I will read, I will say, I will write. Again, I will read, I will say, I will write. Now, because I am talking about this study skills, let me also explain the stress is only because the moment the examination is announced, all of you fear that when I get into an exam, the only fear I have is when the question paper is given to me, I should not forget things. I should not forget things. Now let us take a beautiful example to understand why do people forget. Is forgetting good or forgetting bad? Forgetting sometimes is good because some of the bad things that would have happened in your life you should forget. You had a dog, he passed away. If you keep on remembering him, you cannot concentrate. Your grandmother passed away right in front of your eyes, you cannot. Maybe few of you would have lost your close parents also. So sometimes when life disturbs you by taking the loved ones away from you, if you do not learn to forget, you cannot live, you will be disturbed. So sometimes forgetting is important. So when you don't forget, and if a person comes to me for counseling, because I also go to NIMANS and we do what is called a student counseling there, many students come with this kind of a requirement that they have depression, they are not able to remember, they are not able to forget. People come for all these reasons. One such student who was a 10th standard student, all her 1st standard to 9th standard, she has never scored less than 100. But somehow right now, she is not able to score more than 50 also. Why? Because our loved grandmother passed away and she was not able to digest it. When they came to me, this was one of the clients. And there was one more client, a father had brought a daughter telling, my daughter is good, she is smart, but she reads 24 hours a day, not even sleeps for an hour. But in the exam, her performance is only below 50. I had to speak to both of them. One was they had come because they had a problem that she is not able to forget her grandmother. So she is completely under depression. She doesn't focus on studies. She doesn't focus. Every time she remembers her grandmother, keeps on weeping, keeps on crying. On the other side, there is another lady telling she keeps on forgetting everything. And in the exam, she only scores less than 50 because 50% of it she would have forgotten. Now, two people. One wants to forget, one wants to remember. How will I handle that? The one who wanted to forget, I called them first and I told her, sir, your daughter is not able to forget your grandmother because she was so attached to her. Detachment from her will be highly impossible. So what you can do, change your place, go to a new place where no memory of her grandmother comes. Remove all the photographs of grandmother, remove all the beautiful things that grandmother had given your daughter so that will actually pull her or push her to remember the grandmother. So you do this and it will work, and it really worked. They shifted the place to a new place and their limited whatever internal materials were kept, and her wardrobe was not kept with any kind of such things which could remind her about her grandmother. But in the present house, as soon as anybody enters, a big photo of grandmother is hanging there. Every time she looks at grandmother, she starts weeping. And every visitor comes, they speak less about everything else, they only speak about this grandmother. Great was your grandmother, great was your grandmother. So I wanted her to forget her grandmother, so I told every person who speaks about her grandmother, avoid them at the entrance, let them go. Avoid every such picture, every such toys or every such utensils, every such things that was there in the house which our grandmother used to use. Nothing like that should be visible, because when she goes to the school, she doesn't remember grandmother. Why? She's occupied in a new environment. Nobody is triggering her to remember grandmother. But at home, a big photo of grandmother in all the places, this is triggering her. So she had to exactly do what is required to forget. They shifted the house, and after 6 months she became okay. And again in 10th standard she got around 98%. I was happy. Now one more student has come. She forgets. Now I ask, if you are forgetting, what should you do? You should remember it. To remember what you should do, let me create cue cards of whatever subjects I have. I will place it in all the places which is visible. I will see it again and again, memorize it. And whatever I have learned, let me not do first 20 minutes only. The next 20 minutes and the next 20 minutes is more important. What you take information and put here is not important. I told her, whatever is here, can you repeat it? Can you see it? That is very important. Whatever is here, can you write it? I told his father to give this practice. This practice was consistently given by his father. So first 20 minutes, second 20 minutes, last 20 minutes, or first 20 minutes, middle 20 minutes, last 20 minutes. And slowly her performance also improved. She also scored 90% less. Now the choice is yours. If you want to remember something, you need to revise it multiple times. Now let us understand, I made her understand, why do people forget? Why people forget? Let us see this, and we call it as Hemingway's forgetting curve. See, even ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಒಂದು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Today some chapter was done. ನೀವು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 60 days ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಎ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ 90%. 90% of the things. There is no reason you will forget. Why? Because you have revised. But on that day, whatever is done, I don't do any revision, then I'll forget everything. Human mind requires revision. Repeated revision, human mind requires. So, the more revision you do, the more you can remember. The less revision you do, the lesser you will remember. So, it is very important for you to remember things. So, in this particular day, yavado one chapter, if something is done, after 5 days do one revision, give a gap of 10 days, do one revision, give a gap of 15-20 days, do one revision, again give a gap of 15-20 days and do a revision, so that you will not forget. The more revision you do, it will help you to remember. The less revision you do, it will help you to forget. So for that, a beautiful timetable is also required. And if you don't want to forget, you will have to do revision. A very basic, simple understanding. The more revision you do, the more perfectly you understand. Now, after this, because we will have to again continue with the time management. Now, what are we doing with our already available time? The most important place where our time is invested is sleep. Now let us understand how much time do you have, how much time you don't have, and what is the time allotted for sleep. How many of you sleep for less than 5 hours? Raise your hand. That means if you go to bed at 11 o'clock, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 o'clock either way. That means you should only sleep for 4 hours. All of you stretch your hands and count how many fingers you have. Only 5. Only Ritik Roshan 5.5 because he has a little finger more. So, how the biological clock works is, when we were babies, we had to sleep more. Only then our body would actually get that time for new cells to regenerate. So it was compulsion for us to sleep more when we were as a child, and it is also compulsion for us to sleep more when we are grandmothers or grandfathers. But during the peak of our academics, 5 hours of sleep is more than enough. Why I am telling you this is, your maximum time is utilized there. Let me give you a simple example. Assuming I sleep 12 hours a day. If I sleep 12 hours a day, that means half of my life I have been sleeping on. If I am sleeping 8 hours a day, in 24 hours, if I am sleeping 8 hours, that means 1/3 of my life I am sleeping. The entire life can be divided into first 1/3, second 1/3, third 1/3. That means 1/3 of my life I am sleeping only. The next, if I am sleeping 6 hours, 1/4 of my life I am sleeping only. If I am sleeping for 4 or 5 hours, then 1/6 of my time or 1/5 of my time I am actually sleeping. I would advise, please follow this. Maximum 5 hours should be enough. That way you will have to utilize your time, so that you should not die telling, I utilize my entire life, half of the time sleeping, 1/3 of the time sleeping, 1/4 of the time sleeping. Narendra Modi does not sleep for more than 3 hours. Abdul Kalam does not sleep for more than 3 hours. Draupadi Murmu, maximum 3 and 4 hours. You should see the routine of how they live their life. That doesn't mean that they will be wasting their time going through social media, going through Twitter, going through Facebook, or going through Reels. Definitely not. Ask all of you, how many of you have become digitized drug addict? What do I mean by digitized drug addict? Means any person who gets involved in mobiles, that is a drug which creates lot of such nicotine or a caffeine content in you, which consistently wants you to spend your time on the digital. That drug abuse, if you are going to do what we call digital drug abuse, then you will be spending half of your time sleeping, half of the time only on digital abuse, and you will never be able to study. So that framework you will have to do. For this, let me give you one beautiful story. A very important story. A professor stood before his philosophy class holding a large and empty pickle jar. Pickle means upinkai, a big pickle jar. Let me call it as a glass pickle jar, a very big, which he had kept it on the table. A professor stood before his philosophy class holding a large pickle jar, and he asked them, when the class began, he proceeded asking them, first he fills it up with golf balls. Now, if he is going to fill it up with golf ball, and if I am going to ask you, is the jar full? What will you say? Yes. Can I put more golf ball there? No. The jar is full. All of you agree? Yes. Jar is full. So the classroom also told the same thing, that the glass is full. Then what he does, the professor then picks up a jar of pebbles. Pebbles are kallu. So he picks up and he pours into that vessel. He shakes it well. A box of pebble, and he shakes it. And now he is going to ask the same question: is the jar full? He asked the students again if the jar was full. Can it take any pebbles? Definitely not. You shake a lot, but still, is the jar full? Means all of you will say, yes, the jar is full. Now, what he does, he takes sand, white sand. He asked the students again if the jar was full, and everybody told it is full. The professor next picked up a box of sand, and then he started pouring the sand and shaking it well. He kept on shaking it. He could actually put so much of sand. Now he asked the same students. He asked the same student again, is the jar full? Can I put more sand? All of them told no. Then what he does, he picks up a chocolate milkshake and he pours it. 1 liter of chocolate milkshake easily goes, and he could fill it up. So completely he will fill the brim of it. He poured into the jar, effective filling. Now he again asked, have you understood something? If I put chocolate milkshake first, it will not have rooms for any of the other 4 ingredients. You can't put sand, you can't put pebbles, you can't put golf balls. So, if I want golf balls should be the first thing what I am going to put in my time of the 24 hours. These are very important jobs of your life. The most important jobs of your life, golf ball, that has to be first put into the 24-hour cycle. This you will have to use when you are preparing that timetable. Between one class to another class, there is 10-15 minutes gap. I will utilize that. In lunch hours, there is 10-15 minutes of time that I will finish my lunch, and the next 40 minutes I will utilize it for something else. On the way back home, I am going in a bus. One of you call the principal. Oh, what do you mean by giving a clap? You want me to stop? Your father and your mother, right now, they are working, thinking my son is doing something good in the college. ಕೆಲವರು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗ್ದಲೇ ಇರೋಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಭರವಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಕನಸು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಬೆವರು ಸುರಿಸಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊತ್ತು ಊಟ ಸಿಗ್ದಲೇ ಇದ್ರು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಡ, ಒಂದ್ 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಅವ್ನು ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ವರ PU ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನಿಮ್ ತಾಯಿ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಮಲಗಲೂಬಹುದು. ಆಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಲೇಡಿ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಏಜ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ 1 ಗಂಟೆ 2 ಗಂಟೆ ಮಲಗಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಮಲಗಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಬರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನೇನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ನು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈ ಮನೆ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಲುಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಟೆಂಪಲ್, ಅವನಿಗೊಂದು ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದ ತರ ಕಾಣಬೇಕು, ಬಂದು ಓದ್ಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಕೆ ಏನ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಿರ್ತಾಳೆ, ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷನೂ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ನ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಓದ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ ಡೆಕೆನರಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀನ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ ಸಾಕು ನೀನ್ ಹೋಗು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ. ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಶಿ ವುಡ್ಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸ್ಲಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಲಾಪ್ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ಮದರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್. ಶೇಮ್ ಆನ್ ಯು. I am working here because I know my son is doing good in his IIT in Kharagpur as a topper. So every minute what I am spending here, every penny that I am earning here by coming and actually explaining you, I feel I am doing a social cause, a social service by trying and explaining you what is good, what is right and what is wrong. When you take it in a wrong way, you are actually not hurting me, you are hurting your own parents, you are hurting your father, you are hurting your mother. Right now there was a choice. Let me sit this 2 hours, observe everything what my sir says. Let me take it up. He's been calling so loudly, a chaiwala can become a prime minister, chaiwala can become a prime minister. I am not a chaiwala, I am already in a college. Can I become better than my prime minister? I am talking about how the transformation can come. A girl who did not actually wanted to study, she wanted to be a cricketer and her parents wanted her also to be a cricketer, but there was no such practice place that she could go and play. So she goes in disguise as a man and then she starts playing there, being in disguise as a man in a men's place, trying to practice, registered under her brother's name, and that lady today gave us the World Cup 2025. And you and me sit together, we clap, and what are we proving? Are we hitting our father and mother so hard, telling that I am here to this college to waste my money? A PD class requires a lot of energy. I'll have to speak on top of my voice. I'll have to use a lot of examples. I'll have to use a lot of illustrations. Lot of energy goes out in actually taking a class like this. There should be a receptiveness from you. There should be an Ekalavya in you who should observe. There should be an Arjuna in you who should observe. Being Duryodhana is not bad, but being Duryodhana, what are you proving your parents? Your father and mother would be dreaming every moment of their hard work, every sweat. When it is sweat, when they are wiping out their sweat, they think, whatever I am sweating is okay. I want my son to never sweat like me. Let him get into the best job. Let him get into the best college. I know my son is utilizing every minute of this for a prosperous thing. And few of your mother and father, both of them will be going for work. Great would be that lady who has to do household work also, go for job also, household work also, go for job also. Very, very difficult. Whoever has clapped, you can leave. I am not going to bound you that you will have to attend my class. Anything by choice when you do, it can do miracles. By compulsion, if you are going to do, you cannot do miracles. Compulsion is only a mason's and laborer's job. A mason will call a laborer, do this, he will only do it. He cannot take initiatives on their own. Please don't do this. Dushman kahin aur nahi hai, dushman andar hai, you are being the dushman to yourself. By actually taking such things, you are actually becoming an enemy of yourself. So, this is a very important thing. So, what exactly it means is, identify very important things in your life. For you, I am definitely saying your family is important, your children are important, your health is important, but right now your exam is the most important. So, your entire jar should be only filled with golf ball of education. You should use that golf ball time also for studying. You should use that sand time also for studying. You should use that pebble time also for studying. You should also use that chocolate milkshake time also for studying. Nothing else should come between you and the studies. Only then you can achieve that target. If you can't achieve that target, it will be difficult. Once again, somebody speaks, I'll call the principal and ask you to be here and request you to be here. So the pebbles are other things which are not so important. First important thing is those golf balls. It should be like your job, like your home, like your car. And the sand is everything else, that small stuff which you can do on the way. ಆನ್ ದ ವೇ ಸ್ಕೂಲಿಂದ ಬರುವಾಗ ಲೈಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಆನ್ ದ ವೇ ಸ್ಕೂಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಬರೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್. And then next, you will always have time for a milkshake. Sometimes entertainment is required, sometimes fun is required. Once in a week you can give 2 hours for one movie, Kantara 1, a good movie, watch it. But after that, you should be completely aligned to studies. You should not skip anything. So, in your life, you should ask this question. You should ask, how am I going to utilize? So, whenever I have a list of works that I need to do, like I am attending class, I am working, I am sleeping, personal care, traveling, studying, eating, watching, cleaning, exercising, jogging. I have so many works that I need to do. So when I sum it up, the first thing what I am going to put is going to be golf balls, or I can call it as rocks. Golf ball are also called as rocks. So that will be very important. See, in 1 hour, available number of hours is 168. But what is happening? You are spending 206.5 hours for various things you need. This is how you are scheduled your time. You should also write this. For attending class, how many hours I am taking. For traveling, what is the number of hours I am taking. And for homework and other things, what hours I am taking. For sleeping, what is the hours I am taking. Identify maximum time consumers as rocks and put it here. If that maximum time consumer is not important and not relevant, then slowly remove it and give place for your studies. Because right now, studies is the most important part of your job. I could have explained it still more better, but from the education point of view, I would like to say. So, whenever you are writing your all the works that you do from morning till evening where you require time, please write down in detail for everything how many hours or how many minutes you are going to spend. Even the lunch break also, calculate it, because one lunch break of 1 hour when you are actually spending 10 minutes for lunch and 40 minutes for studies, that 40 minutes into, if you have attended for 100 or 200 days in a year, 40 minutes into 200 is a big time which you could have used it for studies. Because nobody will ask you, what did you do in your lunch break when you were in +1 and +2? The only thing they are going to ask you, what is your +2 marks? They will not ask you in +2 in intervals, what were you doing? No, they will ask you, what is your +2 marks? So if your +2 marks is high, you can say, because I manage my timetable better. So identify all those important things and then you will have to put. So whenever we put those important works, which we write it in a piece of paper, because in a time management class, we take it in a different manner. We ask them to create 4 packets and we ask them to put each work in 1 packet. So the work would be put into quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. The first one is very urgent, important, and which is deadline based. Exam is there after 3 months, it is deadline based. I will have to study, there is no other go. So this will come in first one. First one is urgent also, important also. The second job can have a quality of it is important but not urgent. I should have a haircut, but I can always have the haircut after my college also, after the exam also. Right now let me focus, it is important. I am not saying it is not important. I can't have long hairs. Okay, I should look like a human. But still, I can say it is important but not urgent. Relationship between personality development, planning and preparation, important but not urgent. Exam is very urgent, and for that exam studies will be very urgent. So your first thing will be studies. In that studies, all 3 kinds of studies. Whether your auditory study, whether it is visual study, auditory study, kinesthetic studies, or study of first 20 minutes, middle 20 minutes, last 20 minutes. If you have 2 hours to study, first 40 minutes, middle 40 minutes, last 40 minutes, because 2 hours. In 1 hour is 20. In 2 hours it is 40. In 3 hours it is going to be 1 hour of studies, 1 hour of recollection, 1 hour of writing. This is how you will have to practice. Next would be, it is not important but it is urgent. I need to pay the light bill, I forgot to pay, it is urgent. But what you can do, can you delegate it to somebody? You can request your papa. Papa, time waste ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀನೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಲೈಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಕಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಯಾ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಪಪ್ಪ will be the most happiest person he will say okay ಮಗಳೇ ಓದ್ಕೋ I will go and pay the light bill. So there are some important work you can. Sometimes you would have lost your notebook and you would have actually forgotten or lost, something would have happened. Now without the notes you cannot study. Even writing the notes, sometimes you can delegate it because you will be spending lot of time for doing that write-up. Instead you can study something which is more difficult. So sometimes such work also can be delegated. But studies itself can be delegated to somebody, definitely not. So you should know in quadrant 3 it is not important, you can delegate it. Okay, but it is not important, but it is not urgent also, drop it. If you don't go to your uncle's marriage, uncle will stop marrying, definitely not. If you don't go to your cousin's marriage, they will say we will not tie the thali until you come, definitely not. So if you don't celebrate this year's Deepavali, nothing like it does not matter. Give up. If you don't study Facebook, if you don't put a status in your WhatsApp, if you don't put a story in your Facebook, if you don't see few reels, even if Kantara 1 can be seen after the exam, nothing like it will still be there in Amazon, you can go and watch. So drop it. This clapping, talking to each other, one person he went, he drank water and came, he went, he switched on the fan, he went, he switched off the fan. Why is all this happening? Is because your focus is not in what you want to do. I live in AC room, but I am also feeling uncomfortable. I am wearing a tie, I am wearing a full shirt. But my conviction is not my comfort. I want to take a pain because I want you to gain something out of this class. If I switch on that fan and this fan and make it rotate, I am also feeling thirsty. Water bottle is there. I want to go and have a water. But if I take that little time to grab a water, definitely your concentration would be disturbed. While you are studying, your focus also should be like this. Nothing should come between you and the studies. The TV, the social media. Your parents should always monitor you. Definitely not. You are already a grown-up child. Your life and your future is in your hand. Again I am telling, for Modi to become what he has become, the chai wala, his mother and father was not responsible. And in future, if you are not going to be successful, if you are not going to be successful, don't blame your father, don't blame your mother, don't blame your grandmother, don't blame your brothers and sisters. You alone are responsible. Narendra Modi's cousins and own brothers, they are still very ordinary life they are living. Why? Because they did not make the right choices. दुश्मन कहीं और नहीं था, दुश्मन आपके अंदर है. Right now you will have to take this call. I am made to be big person in this life. I am not made for ordinary things in this life. Take that as a challenge and you will see slowly you will start growing. So you should be a monitor for yourself. You should be a friend of yourself. You should not allow yourself wasting time. When you are wasting time, who is the best person who can stop? Your father? Your mother? Your teacher? No. You should stop. Mother is not there, father is not there, it is study leaves. How should you utilize your time? Your time should be utilized, not even wasting 1 minute of yours. So whatever is this TV, social media, these are called as time wasters, gossiping. Drop it. Drop it and you will see miracles are going to be possible. So with this I end up. If you have any questions, I would like to help. Otherwise your class ends now. So any doubts, any questions, I am ready to answer. Give me a big round of applause. Yeah, any doubts? Anything about studies? How should I prepare myself? I am not able to come out of this digital media. I am always addicted to Facebook. Somehow I feel like I should always be on that. I am addicted to YouTube. I am addicted to TV. I am addicted to news. I am addicted to gossiping. I am addicted to friends. If you have any such questions, you can always ask. Was the class informative?
Yes, sir.
Did you like it?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a take home something?
Yes, sir.
I wish you a great success. All of you are not ordinary people. You are a masterpiece. You are the rarest of the rare. There was nobody like you in the past. There will never be anybody like you in the future of time that is coming. And right now there is nobody like you. You are the unique, you are the masterpiece, you are that masterpiece. Believe in yourself and achieve that miraculous thing that God has plans for you. Thank you. Love you all so much. Any questions? It's there. I'm ready to answer. Otherwise, your class.